Alright, welcome back to this painterly video where we talk about materials. Now, materials for both drawing and fill. Okay, I hate the word. Okay, so materials for both drawing and cube are very similar. I think there's not much in terms of difference between fill and draw, other than you can manipulate the coloring, as you can see. There are two options. You can either use brush color, where it uses the color of the brush, or you can use the material color, where you can manipulate the material. The brush color, you can also manipulate it, I believe. I don't know when for now. Yeah, for now, it is quite a mystery where to use the brush color. But for better manipulation of the colors, you can use without the brush color, which is the material. Just toggle off the brush color and you can use the material itself. So materials, this one you can delete it and then put random colors in it if you want. If you want to use image, if you want to use image, if you want to use image as a okay, let's play around a bit, okay? Okay, so if you want to play, for example, John Cena, John. I don't know if it will work, but I never tried this. But let's give it a go. Let's give. Okay, if I save image as, let me go to downloads. Put it in here. Okay, and then open in my downloads option. You can see John Cena. Open image, and will it? You you can make John, you can make John Cena Brushstroke, but yeah, the potential is limitless with this. Just press I don't the mute button right here. You can put whatever picture you want. Just follow along the criteria of FIP. But about in UV maps. Okay, I'll play around with UV maps because this update included a lot of good stuff in here that helps makes this process more efficient. As I am still learning new stuff as I go along this tutorial, so bear with me here. All right, so color variation. It allows you to now look at the colors properly. For now, you can change it to 0, which is no color variation whatsoever, to a giant array of different colors following along the composition of your main material color. So for instance, if I want to make it like look like a feather leaf, yeah, this would be perfect. Variation scale. Now this how do I explain this? So variation scale is how they make colors like blobs, like the really small blobs, and then then they put all the blobs into a it can say which is a PNG file. So this variation scale allows it to shrink the PNG file and then duplicate it across all forms and then create this kind of sandy looking color, or you increase it to make it no decrease it. Sorry, go back to one please. Yeah, decrease it to make it really large, where it really kind of looks like a brushstroke from oil painting or watercolor or acrylic color. Now let's talk about hue saturation. Yeah, we all know about hue saturation, right? Evidence. This is basically Photoshop included inside this brushstroke tool. Now brush strength. Now this is where the pen pressure comes in really handy. Okay, this one should not be used on fill. Okay, maybe my PC is rendering, I think. Yeah, my PC is rendering. But if your PC is able to play around with brush strength, you can play around with its opacity. As of now, mine, for some reason, doesn't work for this mesh as of now. Okay, it works. Okay, I misunderstood. All right, so the toggling brush strength allows you to use your own pen pressure to create the. Okay, so as I was rudely interrupted by the Lori, the brush strength allows you to use your own pen pressure to create strokes. But for now, I don't have a tablet as mine already broken for some reason. My pen don't have pen pressure. It relies on the user's pen to make its own pass. So right now, all I can use is the slider to make it look like a abstract painting if I wanted to. And see, yeah, opacity. Really fun to play around with. If you have cloth that is thin, you have tissue for some instance that is really thin, you can see through it sometimes. You can use opacity. Backface curling. Now this is going to be fun. I don't quite know how to explain backface curling. It doesn't do much. I usually just keep it on for now. Metallic, yeah, it just turns it into a fucking metal. Yeah, there we go. Looks like a metal. If I just hide this? Oh, wait a second. I can't hide this. Hold on. Q. No, this one. Yeah, there you go. It looks more metallic in render view. It depends on your light. Yeah, it make it more metallic. That's basically it for metallic. And then roughness makes it so you can make it really shiny, like a seashell or fish fin scales, or you can make it really rough. Like in terms of render view, yeah, it looks like brush without any textures and it looks like plastic. Yeah, you can play around with roughness however you like to create a perfect effect. Bump. Now this, you have to be careful with bump because it takes more resources, as you can see here, to register it. Bump allows you to make some sort of 3D detail with your brush. Although your brush is already detailed enough, but bump makes it so it looks, as you can see here, like each stroke is really there, like 3D-ified. 3D-ified, I can say. It's like you paint on it and then you can feel the text, you can touch the textures. This is what make bumps work. What make bump really how can I say this? Resource intensive. So if you want to intentionally make a texture that has bumps, such as bucket, you can use bump. But if it's unnecessary, then best not use bump because it's really resource intensive. Translucency. Now this is going to be fun. My computer can't handle too much of this translucency. It makes it really kind of. Let me go to render view. Okay, I to be honest, translucency is still a myth to me. I mean, it did something. All it did was just make it brighter. That's all I know about translucency. But you can play around with the tint of translucency right here, like you maybe this. Yeah, if I want to green, I still don't know what it does, but it's there for some reason. I don't know. Now, viewport color is basically just how you want your materials to look like in solid mode. without the colors. Just change it to whatever you want. Like you can customize it. You want a pink, you want a green, you want a blue, you want a yellow, you want a blah blah blah. There's just that's viewport color. There's a certain style of how can I say this? A certain style of optimization for you in 3D. Brush strokes, brush style. Now this is where they allow you to change your brush strokes from anything to anything. How can I say this? All right. So default, there are a lot of brush strokes already prepared. Now let me go to layers and shut off all of this. Let me delete this one. Let me create fill. Okay. Let me use this small amount of brushstrokes example. So brushstroke style allows you to change. It takes some time to register. Change the brush stroke effect. Like if you want it grungy, you want it feathery. It takes some time to register, so make sure you test it first and know what the brush stroke is before you change it, because it takes a bit while to change all the brush stroke, especially if it's really high in terms of density. So be aware of that. I'm gonna stick with feather because this looks fun. And then blend, yeah, it's just yeah, you can play around with the settings. Like you want to make it really, really strokey, or you want to make it look like it's faded out a bit. Blend. That's blend. Seed, we all know seed that make the individual brushstroke look very different from each other. And then here is where things get really fun. You can manipulate it through curves. Like if you want your end to look more, yeah, you can play around with the translucency and the look of your brushstroke with curve. This gives you a certain level of control. So I usually just stick with the top and the bottom one, so it looks more like brushstroke. But if you want a, a boxy look, you can play around with the end. Yeah. Excuse me. Excuse me. Yes, yeah, that is the curves in a nutshell. Play around with this, and then you can extremely detailed control with the sliders here, up, down, left, right. Okay, effects. Usually I don't play around with effects because it takes a lot of details. Let me delete all of this. Uh, yeah, let me hold on, there you go. Man, I hate being sick. Yeah, there we go. Dude. Effects will be really resource intensive as well. Like each of these, uh, canvas, rake, fade, crayon, has their own sliders for strength and scale. Okay, so let me demonstrate canvas. It takes a long time to compute, so you need to be really wary of that. But it essentially, with without essentially just makes it so like uh your brushstrokes have certain aspects of the styles of each and every single properties here. Like if you wanted rake, hold on. Yeah, if you wanted rake, like did that, did that, did that. The crayon, canvas fade. You can play around with this and see however you like it. So this is basically how uh, the property is for this thing. So just so demonstrate the power of the canvas, the properties in effects. Play around with strength, Play around with scale. Yeah, there we go. Essentially, you can create your own style, but use it with a grain of salt as it is really resource intensive as well. I guess that's basically it for properties. Let me take a look. Oh yeah, also you can copy and paste brushstrokes. Yeah, you can copy and paste brushstrokes through this. You see the number, right? You want to, for example, if you copy and paste this one, yeah, press this button to copy and paste layer. If you want this to be a different brushstroke rather than the same thing over and over, just press this, and then yeah, it will create another layer without uh, without stamping the same brushstroke on top. You can essentially create your own form of uh, layers. No, essentially your own form of density without using density. For example, you can use this layer to have more density than the last, and then layer on top of it, like offset. Yeah, play around with layers. Oh yeah, let me of course explain layers after I finish talking about the settings, which will be in the next sequence. So see you then.